All right, well, throw your hands up in the air, Sasha, because we're about to go back in the time machine. Whoa! 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 Hair flip!
I'm good at every single one.
Anytime I can get near your hair flip, sweetie, I love it. Oh, wait, we're here in Hawaii. Look, and there's little Sasha running through the beach. Now, you were raised Jehovah's Witness in Hawaii.
Yeah.
What was it like as a kid?
Well, Hawaii in general is just beautiful. And in Hawaiian culture, there is a space for trans people until more like modern times, more so Christianity and religion came in and said that there was only, binary roles. So somewhere in my blood, I know that my heritage understands what being queer and being of both sexes, because what is more divine than both knowing both?
Yeah.
It's wild that I knew that, and whatever God or people want to call it, source or the universe, something told me that I was supposed to be like this, and I'm supposed to be in this, live this life for a reason. And really being a Jehovah's Witness, we're growing up in that atmosphere. It just kind of made my own queerness shine more and scream out more, because I just knew that this was so wrong and just so weird. You're telling me my natural instincts is just wrong, is gonna send me to damnation, but someone else who's doing not that bad of a thing will be okay. It was very selective and very homophobic for sure.
Yeah. And does that mean no birthday parties and no
No.
things like that?
And then that, right?
Yeah,
Not even a party or anything. No, I couldn't go over anyone's house. No, there was no Christmas. I think the first birthday I celebrated was probably 16, and I was scared. And my friends were like, "We're taking you to dinner," and that's the first birthday candle I ever blew out. And
wow.
Yeah, it was just an awakening. It was being gay and having all the things that you were deprived.
Yeah. Now, when you started taking dance classes at 13, was that a little tiptoe into your true queer self?
Yeah, I think it was right before that. Well, I mean, to be quite honest, I knew I wanted to be a girl at 5. I knew I didn't like the girl. I wanted to be the girl.
Right.
So I understood that quickly, and my family, the girls just kind of knew. I was reminiscing with my niece, who I grew up with. She's a year older than me, and she was telling me that she, we remember we were playing dress up, and we're an accountant or a lawyer, and we've all had boyfriends, and I was living a girl's experience as a kid, and they let me, which was really cool, and I never even knew that until later on when I realized. But I totally forgot what we were saying.
Oh, we were just talking about how being in dance, you're just hair flipping, we'll all forget.
I know, gosh. One too many, and then it's all loose.
Right. Well, we were talking about how getting into the arts and into dance sort of helped give you a little crack that door open.
It was a little, yeah, it was definitely an intro. I remember watching Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake, the VMAs, and memorizing the whole dance and performing it at school.
Wow.
For our homecoming, we had to battle each other with dances, and we all put together a number. And a girl there, my friend Janelle, who's still one of my really good friends, who's about to give birth actually. So shout out to Janelle, love you, good luck. But she introduced me to dance. She told me you should come, you would be really good. And I never left the dance studio after that. It was done.
And that was that era of Britney Spears when they all did the
yes, it was you wanted
all
to be
the
a
sound
dancer.
effects, yeah. Now, at 17, you started sneaking into drag clubs. Take me through one of those nights of sneaking out.
Oh my gosh, it was, well, first of all, sneaking out of the house from my parents, who were where are you going? So first of all, I was all wrapped up in a backpack.
Right.
Having to go over to a friend's house and get ready and kind of put a little makeup on. But I was just still presenting as boys, so I wasn't having to get into the full drag. But my first time there, it was one of our icons in Hawaii. It was her birthday. So anyone that was a performer was at that show performing. So I got a crash course in one night of butch drag, of trans drag, And immediately I was drawn. I'm like, I need it. I need to go there. So I was there every Friday at this like 18 and over club, and immediately asked to like get in a show, and did everything I could like for nothing. For
Of
like
course.
nothing on a Thursday.
Amazing. That's how everybody has to start, for
Right?
free on a
Yes,
Thursday.
like at 7 o'clock on a Thursday.
Now, at that point, you realized that you were queer. You were still sort of, your gender identity journey was still in process, right?
Yeah. It's weird because I just went from like, oh no, I'm not gay because my parents and everybody will find out, to
Right.
I'm a girl. So there wasn't like there was like a really small intermediate moment of me being like a gay boy, but that really was that awkward stage of transitioning when first starting hormones and stuff. So it was
Right.
more so I was just like, oh my God, I gotta be a girl. You know, it was still queer as fuck, you know.
So
crazy.
you're a teenager, you're doing drag, you're sort of discovering yourself, and you started doing shows at the clubs. Tell me
At
about
the
those
clubs.
early shows.
I was, I mean, I just love dancing so much. So I would take like routines that we learned that day and just make my own costume. I really was emulating the girls that I danced with. They were so sexy and like just so ultra feminine. And I pretty much modeled how I still do drag after that. And it's, I mean, if it ain't broke, right?
Yes, exactly, sweetie. Because you're doing it perfectly.
The costumes have gotten less. The hair flips have gotten more.
Yes.
The chiropractor bill has gotten higher.
I bet, honey. Now, you finally decided at 22 to move to Chicago and pursue drag full time. Was that a big decision? What was that? What was going
God,
through
it
your
was-
mind at the time?
It was like a heaven sent. I really wanted to do something in the arts that allowed me to make money, you know, and to feel like I could like make a career out of this. And working at the Baton, which is one of the oldest, they call it female impersonation bars. I don't know if that's like completely like
That's not
PC
really
now.
today's term,
right?
yeah.
But pretty much it was like the most beautiful trans and butch artists, or drag queen artists, I guess you could say. And they were just the top of the tops. And the pageant that I won, Miss Continental, the owners of the pageant also own the Baton. So as soon as I started competing and like getting into pageants, that's when the opportunity came. That was really like school. Like
Right.
drag 101.
You're just soaking up everything.
Yeah, and everyone and what they're doing, how they carry themselves. Like the way these girls would like get themselves together in 3 minutes, like a full costume and hair change and all these like cool tricks. It was mesmerizing, and I was a fool. Like in the beginning, you know, I was just like a kid trying to figure it all out, and they were just so seasoned. And very kind, very like they taught me a lot.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's nothing like being able to soak up the knowledge from
Yeah.
the generations of drag history that came before.
Yeah, and that's what I really love, because I love history and I love drag history. I love that you have to know where you came from to know where you're going, and to know your references and to know the creativity that people had even back then, especially when it was so pushed down, so suppressed, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for those of you who don't know, it hasn't always been this easy to
Wasn't
be
always
queer,
fun.
gay, trans, any of the things that, especially drag artists, it wasn't so
Yeah.
celebrated. It was sort of pushed down, it was taboo, but the art and the beauty that was still able to be created is really something to always remember.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you moved around. You stayed in Chicago for 7 years. Now, we're not just dashing over your win in Miss Continental. We're going to get to that a little later. But then you moved to Orlando, another drag capital.
Yeah, I was there for 2-3 years. And I worked at Southern Nights, which was Revolution back then. I would work at Parliament House and at Pulse nightclub. They were just so amazing. It was right when I won Miss Continental that I moved. So I definitely was traveling a lot, but being able to still have a space to come home and know that, hey, I could like jump on a stage, make a few dollars,
Yeah.
pay the electric bill, you know?
Very important.
But it was a lot of fun. The girls there, you know, they love drag. Like everyone just loves drag, and like they are in drag.
Yes, they are.
Like I love it. Like you can't be like just fishy and demure. Like even the girls are like dolls, you know, they're dolled out. I love it.
The dolls,
The
honey, the
dolls.
Orlando dolls always bring it to the floor. Now, you moved here to Los Angeles 5 years ago after you divorced from a woman?
Yes.
Sasha, can you please tell me all about this?
Well, I mean, I like what I like. I like pretty things,
Yes.
you know? I consider, I don't even know the word to call it, but I like everything.
All right.
You got a pulse and an Instagram handle, I might hit you up.
Yes, honey.
But she was great. She identifies as a lesbian and has always been with female biological women. But we had a connection and we saw each other's souls and went on a ride for a few years.
Yeah.
And then we got off the ride.
Right, as it does happen.
The ride usually ends.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, we're still great friends. And yeah, it was a great moment in time.
That's great. I mean, again, as someone who has love for everyone, there's no reason you should be limited in who you're with.
Right. I mean, you got to know.
Yes, honey.
You got to try.
So as you were a fresh divorcee, you hit Los Angeles, and sweetie, it all started.
Oh my gosh, I was like hotsy-totsy. I was like, you know, feeling LA and trying to like eat all this raw food and stuff. Nothing stuck.
Like, this Hollywood lifestyle
Oh my
is
gosh, I
out
was
of
like,
this world.
But LA it's been great. It's been the most, the closest I can go to home, you know, it's the easiest to get home to Hawaii. So I get to visit my family a lot more now than, say, Orlando, where I could, like, it was
That's a
like
long
18-hour
journey,
flight.
yeah.
But yeah, I have great friends. All my dance friends and friends from Hawaii are here. So we have like a little Hawaii commune of family. And it feels good. It feels really lovely.
How do you relate to your family now? Have they accepted you now, or is there still tension there?
I wouldn't say tension. I mean, we're all just like get along. They love it. I mean, they think I'm cool, and all the nieces and nephews, like they follow me.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're great. It's always the younger ones that are just, they get it. Like, you don't have to explain, and like they understand, and they think it's pretty cool. But my brothers and sisters can be still like they're all still very in the religion. So I don't, oh gosh. I feel like sometimes they just tolerate me and my loudness and my, like, because I'm a Leo and you're gonna get me. And like, that was this from jump. Like,
Yeah.
I was like a boy and then came with boobs and a bikini and like shoving it in their faces, like, you're gonna get it. So it was, I'm pretty like out there. But now I feel old, like now that we're older, they definitely have a respect for me, especially with things happening with in family. Like my father had passed away about 5 years ago, I believe. And it was a really trying time for my family. Everyone did not know how to take that. He was 80 years old and he committed suicide.
Wow.
And it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And if you are contemplating anything, any kind of feelings, please reach out to someone. It's the worst thing you could do to your family. And I suggest no one has ever have to go that far. But it really made me and my family kind of get together and just kind of, well, here we are. We have this like crazy connecting thing again that is going to bind us for life, and only us will understand how this made us feel. So, you know, just kind of bury things, and it was really cathartic, at least.